So the difference between no-fault law, there are states that have no-fault systems like our state, and then there are other states that have what are called a pure tort system. We are one of 12 states in the U.S. that has a no-fault system. And the major difference between a no-fault system and a pure tort system is built right into our name. It's no fault. So if you're in a car accident in Michigan, you are entitled under Michigan's no-fault law to recover benefits that would pay for your medical bills, it would pay for your lost wages, it would pay for attendant care if you are unable to leave the house. It pays for all that stuff, regardless of whether or not you were at fault for causing the accident that resulted in your injuries that necessitated the medical bills and the lost wages. If you're in another state, like say Ohio, they are a pure tort state. And then if you want any of that stuff, you have to prove that somebody else caused the accident, and then you have to force them to pay. It's a drastically different system. And Michigan was at one point a pure tort state. Until 1973, we were a pure tort state. And the reason that we switched was because the pure tort system, and I know there's a lot of people that live that way, that live in states that have that system, and that's all fine. Michigan got to a point where they said, look, the pure tort system that we have in Michigan is not doing the job. People are getting seriously injured. They are having to wait way too long to get the payouts for lost wages and medical bills that they are entitled to from the at-fault drivers. Things are getting tied up in litigation for ages and years. And so car accident victims are having to wait. They're going into financial ruin because they have to go into their own pocket to pay all these bills. And what was happening far, far, far too often was who has $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 laying around to pay for medical bills in a serious car accident? Not many people. Very, very, very few. And that's what was happening. People were they were not getting the care they needed when they needed it. And for a lot of people, far too many, they were not getting it at all. And to the lawmakers, to the credit of Michigan lawmakers at the time, they said, hey, let's go to this no-fault system. And so we implemented no-fault. You get in an accident here, you collect your benefits from your insurance company. You do not have to prove who was at fault for the accident. That's only with regard to medical bills, wage loss, attendant care. If you want pain and suffering compensation from the at-fault driver who injured you, then you do have to go to court and you have to prove